Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The leader of the mercenary military group Wagner, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has posted an 11-minute audio message where he denies trying to overthrow Vladimir Putin. He also denies agreeing to sign a contract with the Defense Ministry to end the so-called mutiny, which started on Friday last week. It's after his forces suddenly left the Ukrainian city of Bakhmut and marched towards Moscow. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, who is thought to be the target of Prigozhin's anger, has appeared on camera for the first time since the uprising, although it is not immediately clear where or when the visit had taken place. EU countries have agreed to increase the maximum size of the fund used to finance military aid for Ukraine by €3.5 billion, raising its ceiling to over €12 billion. EU sources last week said the bloc's top diplomat, Josep Borrell, had asked governments to raise the financial ceiling on the European Peace Facility, which has already allocated some €4.6 billion in military aid for Ukraine. Jens Stoltenberg says Sweden and Turkey will convene a high-level meeting in Brussels on the possible accession of Sweden to NATO before the alliance's July summit in Vilnius. It comes hours after Turkish President Tayyip Recep Erdogan told NATO's Secretary-General that Sweden must stop protests by supporters of the outlawed Kurdistan Workers' Party in Stockholm before getting the green light on its NATO membership bid.
I spoke yesterday to President Erdogan and I am also in contact with the Swedish and the Finnish government, and we agreed to convene a high-level meeting in Brussels before the summit. This meeting will include foreign ministers, heads of intelligence and national security advisors. The aim is to make progress in completing Sweden's accession to NATO.
Sudan's paramilitary Rapid Support Forces say it has seized the main base of a heavily armed police unit. Video footage posted by the RSF showed soldiers inside the unit celebrating in front of tanks and weapons inside a warehouse. Since late on Saturday, fighting had surged in the three cities that make up the wider capital, Khartoum, Bari and Omdurman, as the conflict between the army and the RSF enters its 11th week. Officials in Myanmar say they have set fire to $180 million worth of seized illegal drugs and conducted a ceremony in Yangon to mark World Drug Day. According to state media, the destroyed drugs were seized across the country, but no specific data was provided for the list of drugs or the locations at which they were seized. The United Nations' latest report said opium cultivation in military-ruled Myanmar jumped by 33% last year, reversing a 6-year downward trend.
Wowee.
Drone footage has captured the moments when a curious humpback whale followed a kayaker and swam alongside them in the waters at Bondi Beach in Sydney.
Crazy. I don't even know if this guy knows. Mate, do you know there's a whale just following you? Back out front on the beach, really close.
Drone pilot Jason Iggulden captured the footage. A record 5,092 whales were spotted from various points along the New South Wales coast as part of an annual census conducted during the migration season. And brave couples have competed in a wife-carrying contest at a Scandinavian midsummer festival in Burnaby in Canada.
On the left. That wasn't very successful.
The team members, identifying as husbands, had to carry their wives or a friend through a course filled with obstacles. Friends Eric Blyder of Ukraine and Anna Stonkovich of Russia completed the course in the fastest time and were awarded Stonkovich's weight in beer for coming first. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios.